Hi again, welcome to this drum lesson for The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars. This is quite a classic drum part and it does change a little bit from bar to bar. So what I'll do is I'll break it down 4 bars at a time and then I'll put whole sections back together and I'll put the music up on the screen. That way it'll be easiest for you to practice and hopefully memorize it so that you can jam the song. Anyway, to kick off, we are of course in 6/8 and this is how the first 4 bars go. If those kick drums are a little bit tricky, I would recommend counting, and it will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. That's going to give you a really good point of reference as to where those kick drums should go. But otherwise, you could look at the hi-hats and see which kick drums line up with the hi-hats and which ones fall in the gaps. Hopefully with a bit of practice, it'll get nice and smooth and you'll be able to play the song. Moving on, let me give you the next 4 bars. In the next 4 bars, there's some 30-second notes up on the hi-hats. I'm going to play them as doubles, but you could definitely single stick them as well. This is how the whole thing sounds. And now for the last 4 bars of this first verse. That snare drum fill at the end will come at you quite quickly at the tempo of the song. Just remember, it's 4E under, 5E under, 6E under. If you count it out slowly, you'll get exactly the right amount of notes and it'll sound nice and clean when you put it back together with the song. I'll play that whole section, that whole verse, and I'll put the music up on the screen. That takes us into the first chorus. We're going to move the right hand up onto the crash cymbal, but the groove stays pretty much the same. Here's the first 4 bars. And the second 4 bars. Those 2 kick drums at the end are quite quick and you could leave them out if you wanted to, but I think you can get them done with a single pedal at the speed of the song. I'll put that whole chorus section back together. That brings us to verse 2, and here's the first 4 bars. The next 4 bars have a nice little syncopated hi-hat pattern right at the end. Right throughout this section, I can hear some little dropped ghost notes as well. I haven't written any of them in, so it's totally up to you if you want to catch them or not. Moving into the next 4 bars, we're going to open up the hi-hats, but we're still in the second verse. And then the last 4 bars of the second verse go like this. Now here's verse 2 in one hit. Next up is chorus 2, and here's the first 4 bars. You can definitely sneak those 2 little snare drums in there and keep the crash cymbal going right throughout that 4th bar. Moving on, here's the next 4 bars. And that snare drum fill is basically the same as the one we played at the end of verse 1, but instead of playing all snare drums, the very first note is just on the crash cymbal with a kick underneath. We're still in chorus 2, and so here is the next 4 bars. And now for the last 4 bars of the second chorus. I'll put that whole chorus back together and pop the music on the screen. Now we're up to the bridge, and the bridge has a couple of different challenges in it. If you haven't done this stuff before, there might be a little bit of coordination stuff, and some of the fills are a little bit tricky too. But maybe it will come together easily. Let me play it slowly so you can check it out. Here's the next 4 bars with the first big fill in it. I'll give you that fill one more time. And then we loop back to the start of the bridge, and the second time around the fill is different, and here's how that goes. I'll go back and put that whole bridge together. You know the bit that we're up to. We've got vocals, and the drums just wait until 4-ender, 5-ender, 6-ender on the snare.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
And then at the end of that part, we have one more epic fill. This is what I've worked out. That brings us to the last choruses. The first 8 bars of this chorus repeat, so I'll break that down for you real quick. Here's the next 4 bars of that repeated section. Moving on, I'll break down the last 8 bars for you now, and then I'll go back real quick and put that whole thing together. And the very last section of the song goes like this. We're nearly done, but I'll put that whole outro section back together. That brings us to the end of The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars. It's an oldie but a goodie, definitely great fun to jam, and great to lock in as many of those drum parts as you can because they are quite iconic. Have fun practicing that one, and I'll see you at the next lesson.